So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today presenting in this Naventus Renewables Summit of Savosolar, I would say new Savosolar. You can see already signs of that in the first slide, new company names inside the corporation. I have 4 points, main topics in my presentation, so overview, explanation of two different businesses, and then why we are talking us like as we are the green transition company. So Savosolar is a Finnish company listed in the Nasdaq First North Growth Market in Stockholm and Helsinki, as you most probably know. We have over 17,000 shareholders, a bit more in Finland, I would say, at this moment. And then largest owner from the beginning of December last year is Meriaura Invest with about 67% ownership. And as we have now, from December, we have two business units, renewable energy, the old previous Savosolar, and then marine logistics company called Meriaura, which is a subsidiary of Savosolar. And our goal is to accelerate the green transition of our customers. Okay, so two business units, renewable energy, marine logistics. In renewable energy, we are traditionally, so we have been doing that already 7-8 years, have been designing and delivering turnkey, large-scale solar thermal systems for district heating and industrial customers. And that's the other business. Nowadays, we also talk about clean heat more than only solar thermal, so we are able to combine different heat sources into that. And then marine logistics, Meriaura as our subsidiary. Meriaura is a forerunner in sustainable shipping in Baltic and North Sea areas already over 30 years. With the new structure, we are financially much stronger than we used to be. And on the left side, you can see the consolidated numbers where Meriaura has been 1 month in our company. And on the right, you can see the pro forma numbers with the assumption that the companies would have been merged already together in the beginning of last year. So the whole group would have been more than 73 million euros of turnover and clearly profitable. So we have a much stronger financial muscles to do things and then grow in the future than we had earlier. So renewable energy, our purpose is to help communities and companies reduce CO2 emissions with clean heat. And behind there you can see a picture already, one of our earlier deliveries of large-scale solar thermal system in a Danish district heating company. And I'm extremely happy that I have the opportunity of possibility to be the first presenter after the brilliant panel discussion. So I don't have to point out how important heat is. So we are doing large-scale, industrial-scale turnkey solar thermal systems, and our systems are making below 100 degrees temperature, and also integrating other heat sources. We are the leading supplier of such systems in the market at this point. We have delivered more than 120,000 square meters, main market in Europe, but we also have now deliveries in China, in Mexico, and some activities other parts of the world also. This is one example of our delivered system. So this is in France. This is the largest solar thermal system in France, producing heat for board malt drying factory. So it's drying malt. So the board malt wanted to have green beer, not in the color, but produced by green heat. And you can see already from here that the elimination of CO2 emissions are significant, even though it's producing only around 35% of the needed heat for the plant. And also the savings compared to the gas are big, and this calculation is actually made before the energy crisis. So it's still... And this has inspired also other companies to make similar type of systems in Europe. For this specific industrial segment, malt drying. And then marine logistics. Meriaura has been for over 30 years already in front line of sustainable shipping in Baltic and North Sea areas, and having the advantage of having the long experience to operate in the northern sea conditions, and also having the vessels fleet equipped to operate in these areas. So last year the turnover was 69 million euros, so it's significantly bigger than our renewable energy business, at least for now. And it has 14 ships operating, of which they own, or we own 5. Meriaura has 2 business segments. One is bulk, so basically dry bulk, meaning biomass, wooden ships for district heating companies, or then bulk for food chain, fertilizers, grains, and then project business, which means demanding heavy cargoes and special transports, for example, wind turbine blades or frames, or then crane parts and everything. Throughout this lifetime, Meriaura has been building up a more environmentally friendly shipping, and here it's divided in 3 different segments. Basically, Meriaura has always designed their own ships with new innovative ideas. And now last autumn, they also announced a plan to build a new green ammonium ship, so a ship that is operated with green ammonium, and that's made together with Wärtsilä and Green North H2 Energy. And that will be continue also to build up new ships that are even low carbon ships than earlier. Meriaura has also been looking for new solutions to cut out transport emissions in their own operations, which can be seen in the daily operations. And Meriaura also has been pioneering using biofuels at sea. They have done their first tests in biofuels already in 1990s, and it's one part of the striving for the more low carbon sea transportation. And then about the green transition company, what we are saying that we are, and I start with this matrix. I think many of you have seen this already. I'm using this rather often, and this is in my mind explaining very nicely where the world is now and where it is going. So basically you have in the bottom, you have energy demand, so either electricity or heat or transportation energy, cooling, and they are our customers. And we are also there. We need the energy for our operations. And more, everybody there, they are looking for low carbon energy sources. So, and then you see in the up there is the energy sources, more and more solar, wind, heat pumps, waste heat, bioenergy, even though burning is not necessarily the best way, but it's anyhow cleaner than fossil fuels. And then in the left, you have the distribution, so how you get the energy where it's needed, so the networks. You have electricity, heating, cooling, hydrogen systems. And every player is looking their own position in this matrix. So basically, every city, every house, every country are looking what we are using. So it will not be anymore like one big burning factory that is producing all the electricity and heat for one city. So you have to find a hybrid system where you have multiple different energy sources. And then you do the optimization for yourself. We are both in the heat networks, and of course we are in the transportation now. And we are looking how we can increase the low emission energy in our operations and with our customers. And this is what we have done already in the renewable energy side. So more than 125,000 square meters of large-scale solar thermal fields delivered. So we are very proud of the amount we have delivered, and the customers that are all satisfied what they have gotten and what they are operating. But we are even more proud of the impact we have made together with our customers. So it's more than 20,000 tons savings of CO2 emissions every year. And we are building this more. At the same time, Merihaura has been systematically and relentlessly striving for lower carbon emissions, lower emissions in the seed transport. And last year was I would say, a breakthrough year in that sense that they were able to reduce its emissions compared to 21 with more than 11%. Normally in a shipping company, if you want to reduce the emissions, you maybe get 3 to 5% if you don't change your fleet. So this is showing how much things have been made to focus in the operations, systematically doing small things, big things to reduce the emissions, and that will continue, also adding biofuels and everything. Additionally, Merihaura has another company that is producing its own biofuel. It's fully recycled biofuels, meaning that this VG marine eco-fuel that can be used as a mixed with diesel, usually 70-30% mixture, so 70% biofuel, 30% diesel. And because it's fully recycled and not taken out of the food chain, it's giving up to 96% lower greenhouse gas emission impact compared to fossil oils. And this is also something that we are further developing and increasing the capacity, as we have announced, of our biofuel factory. So this is what we have done. So walk the talk, and this is how we see what we are doing now as a larger combined company. So our strategy will center around accelerating the green transition of our customers. So Merihaura will offer competitive, low-carbon sea transportation, aiming for profitable growth from where we are, and that means getting more market share. And how you get more market share? You add capacity, you build new ships, you rent new ships, and aim for more clean transportation all the time. And from the old Savosolar point of view, we see huge demand for large-scale solar thermal in both district heating and industrial part. So we want to grow there, but at the same time, with the new structure, we are more stronger to integrate more heat sources, heat pumps, waste heat, storages into our systems. And even if needed, as we discussed already in the panel, to be able to offer the customers the selling the heat for themselves, not only investing in that. So we have significantly more capabilities to do that. And with all these actions, strategic action to reduce emissions in all our operations with our customers, we want to at the same time create significant shareholder value and then take the corporation to the main list of the stock exchange. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Jari. Let's start with the district heating aspects here. It's estimated that by 2050, roughly 50% of the district heating in Europe could be, well, the heating in Europe could be district heating in terms of cities and also companies.
Correct.
So what is the market possibilities here from your perspective? Main competitors, etc., etc. It's a huge market.
It is a huge market. So, whatever we calculate, we have been calculating that even with the next 5 to 7 years, it can be 500 million to 1 billion euros per year. But it depends on the decisions that how the decisions are made, because the thing is that last year has taught us how volatile the energy market can be. District heating companies have been suffering quite a lot in Central Europe for obvious reason, for gas. And they are now looking for both cleaner sources, but also the energy independence. But still the struggling and the high cost of energy and the availability of energy has postponed the decisions. So it's something that how we can speed up the decisions, it's needed for the companies themselves, for us suppliers, but also for the governments to push this forward.
And shifting focus to the marine, the transportation, this is of course a huge emitter, the shipping.
Yes.
It's, you might have the numbers, but it's in terms of percentage of global emissions, it is plenty. I don't have the last digit, maybe you do.
I don't have, but that's actually still, it's good to remember that whenever you think about transportation by sea, it's more ecological and economical than any other. So
there are a lot of ships. So
exactly, yes. And there's a lot to do on that side.
Exactly.
Yes.
So on that note, lots to do in terms of looking into the future, 5 years from now. Where is your transportation scheme in terms of what can you achieve in putting a dent into this market?
So we are just, defining our strategic targets also for the growth, but also for the impact on the environment and everything. But we can see already now from the savings that Meriaura did last year for the emission cutting what was significant, and we aim to go forward. And at the same time, Meriaura was making last year one of its best financial years. So it's showing that you can do the cutting the emissions at the same time make a profitable business. And on the future, I believe it will be more and more like that because the customers are asking for, can we have a clean transportation? Because they want to have the green tag on their products.
Of course. That's a sweet spot we want to be, making money and making a cleaner future. Exactly.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Jari. Thank you.